What is your name? Miss Havisham. And where do you live? Satis House. Okay. Hello, Miss Havisham. Thank you for inviting us to Satis House. Today, my friend over here and I will be asking you some personal questions. Is that okay? Okay, you're happy with that. So just as our preliminary round, we ask you some very specific, difficult ones, and if you can answer them well, we proceed to the next round. Okay, you're okay with that? Thank you. So your first question is, do you think you've ever been truly happy? Perhaps in the fleeting, foolish days when you believed his lies and thought yourself loved. But such happiness was a mirage, a cruel trick of the heart. You doubt now whether it was ever real at all. Okay, of course. Just to let you know, based on what we know about you, we have guessed the answers that you are giving. So in this exercise, we are basically checking your answers against what we think according to your character and personality you will answer. So your first answer was exactly as we expected, and we will continue to check that. Thank you. So your second question is, do you feel trapped in your painful past? You are not merely trapped. You have chosen to enshrine your pain. The past is all you have, your companion and your tormentor. Okay. And the next question, how do you cope with feelings of loneliness? Loneliness is the air you breathe, the shadow that never leaves you. You do not cope, you endure. It has become your constant companion, as familiar as the silence of these decaying walls. Okay, so that was your preliminary round, and now we will ask with some main questions. And thank you, you have done really well because all your answers are matching with what we were expecting you to say. So we will start with a few questions about your past. So the first question is, what was your childhood like? Lonely, though not without privilege. Your father's wealth shielded you from hardship, but not from isolation. Who became your very first love and love of your life? It was a man you met when you were younger. His name was Compasson. Okay, thank you. And how did you meet the love of your life? Through mutual acquaintances. He was charming, persuasive, and everything you thought you wanted. Okay. And what initially attracted you to him? His attention, his sweet words, his promises of a love you thought would last forever, but all were lies. Okay, thank you. And do you regret trusting him so deeply? Every moment of your existence is a testament to that regret. Sure. And how did you feel when you discovered his betrayal? As though your very soul had been ripped from you. You felt nothing but rage and despair. Okay. recall the exact moment you decided to stop time around you in this house, Satis House? When you stood in your wedding gown, frozen in horror, and the truth sank in, time ceased to matter that day. Okay. And was there ever a moment when you considered forgiving the person who hurt you? Never. He deserved no forgiveness for the ruin he caused you. Okay. And did you ever have any close friends or hobbies even before the betrayal? You were always a solitary person even before he came into your life. Perhaps that is why you clung to him so fiercely. Okay. And what role did your family play in your life before the heartbreak? Your father provided for you, but your half-brother had a hand in your ruin. Okay? And why did you isolate yourself instead of seeking solace or comfort from any other people? Others cannot heal what is shattered within. You wanted only to wallow in all the wreckage. Do you feel anger, sadness, or something else when you think about the day when you were betrayed? All of these and more. That day is like a spectre that haunts you always. Okay. And is there anyone you have ever truly forgiven in your life? No, forgiveness is a gift you do not possess. And are you more afraid of the past or the future? The past terrifies you, yet it defines you. The future is an emptiness you dare not comprehend. What does love mean to you now? A weapon, a deception, a poison that destroys all who partake of it. And is there anyone you trust completely? Trust is a folly you can no longer afford. Okay. Do you ever dream of a life different from the one you have lived? Dreams are for the naive. Your reality is a cage you cannot escape. Okay. And how do you feel when you see affection between other people, like Pip's affection for Estella? He must learn, as he did eventually, that love is a cruel master. Okay. And how do you feel about kindness? Kindness is wasted on the world. It changes nothing at all. Okay. Now the next section is about your current situation. Is that okay? Sure, okay. So, who do you have in your life right now? What sort of people? You only have Estella, your adopted daughter. And why did you decide to adopt Estella? You wanted a person to use as an instrument of your vengeance and make her heartless to spare the pain you endured yourself. Okay. did you raise your adopted daughter Estella? You taught her to break hearts as yours was broken, so that no person could ever harm her as you were harmed. Okay. And how do you feel about what Estella has become, the way she treats others? It satisfies you, though at times you wonder if maybe you have gone too far. Okay. And have you ever considered apologizing to Estella for not being a good mother to her and shaping her this way, making her so brutal? You don't see the point in asking for an apology. The damage is already done. Okay. And what would you do differently if you had another chance to raise Estella? You don't know. You cannot even imagine a different path. Do you think Estella is aware of your true feelings for her, that you see her as a tool for your own vengeance? She knows enough, though perhaps not the depths of your affection or your sorrow. Okay. Did you ever hope that Estella might actually bring you some feelings of peace and positivity about love, rather than all this bitterness that you have used her for? Perhaps, maybe yes, but only in some foolish fleeting moment. You never actually believed it. So far you are doing really well, and just want to tell you that all your answers are meeting the expectations as we thought that they will. So thank you so much. And also at this point we want to remind to please like and subscribe, because that really helps. Okay, so the next section is about your relationships. Was there anyone else besides the person who betrayed you that you ever considered marrying? No. This person was your first and only mistake. You knew if you tried any other person, it would be a mistake. And which other people do you come across in your day-to-day life? Maybe someone you work with or something like that. Mr. Jaggers is a man of business who serves you as your lawyer and nothing more. Okay. And how do your business relationships work? How do you view Mr. Jaggers? He is practical, unfeeling, and utterly reliable, unburdened by sentiment, a trait you find both admirable and repelling. He is everything a man should be. Okay. And how would you describe your family relationships? For example, with Herbert Pocket's family. They are distant relatives. They served a purpose, but they are of little consequence to you. You think nothing of them. And why did you invite a new person like Pip into your life? What were you thinking? That was just to amuse yourself and to give Estella a toy to practice her cruelty. Okay. And how did you see Pip as you got to know him more? You saw he was naive. His desperation and hope for something better reminded you of yourself when you were younger. How do you think about the way Pip changed over time? He got hurt and he grew wiser, as all people who suffer eventually must grow up. And what advice would you give to someone who has hope? You will advise them to abandon hope before it consumes them. So we have reached the last section, and this is about your life and legacy. So, what do you think your greatest mistake in life has been? Believing in love, believing in another person, that's your biggest mistake. Okay. And do you believe in redemption? It's not for you, though perhaps for others maybe. How do you wish to be remembered? You wish to be remembered as a warning to all who trust too easily. Okay. If you could change one thing about your life, what would it be? You would never have opened your heart to that villain, that swindler, Compasson. What do you think is the greatest lesson people can learn from your life? That love is a curse, not a blessing. Okay. And do you ever wonder what your life would have been like if you hadn't met Compasson? You think about that endlessly, but such thoughts are futile as nothing will ever change. And do you believe in forgiveness at all? No, you do not believe in such a thing as forgiveness. Forgiveness is a gift only unscarred people can give. Okay. Do you believe that gore wounds can ever be healed? If they are surface wounds, less deeper than yours, then maybe your suffering cannot be diminished, and anyway, that's the only thing you have left in your life. Okay. If you could relive one day of your life, which day would it be and why? The day before you were betrayed, when you were left at the altar, so you might see the lies for what they were and spare yourself the pain. Thank you so much. We are very nearly done here. We have the last question for today. And thank you so much for your patience and honesty, and all your answers have actually matched what we expected. Now, the one last question for today. Is there any part of your decayed existence that you still find beautiful? The candles, perhaps, they flicker like memories of a better time. So with that, thank you, my reading loves, for joining. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.